I'm off to run some errands. Please tidy up this place.
No!
Wow! How did you guys do it?
We got cleaners.
Cleaners?
You know it, Dad.
Cleaner, it works.
Coming up next on Plustv, Plus News. Join our news team for half hour of local and national news. Plus News, informative, balanced, accurate, and current.
Benny's is kicking off Father's Day with popping deals for dad. In the month of June, visit a Benny's near you and get 19 to 25% off selected items such as Milwaukee and Axie power tools, Charbroil barbecue grills, car care products, Karcher pressure washers, and much, much more. Make dad happy with popping deals for dad in June, only at Benny's.
Benny's, Benny's, oh, Benny's, 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 oh.
Every project starts with the right tools. At Builders Hardware, we got everything to get the job moving. Tools, paint, plumbing, electrical, garden, it's all here from construction start to finish. We're also offering a different kind of power tool. Order anytime, anywhere. Pick up in store or get it delivered to your home. Go to shopbuildersbz.com today and save money with our exclusive online deals. Builders Hardware, making it easier.
Benny's is kicking off Father's Day with popping deals for dad in the month of June.
Belize City, get ready for a safe and reliable e-taxi experience like never before. Building on the success of our e-ride bus service, we've heard your feedback, Belize City. We've seen your enthusiasm and how eagerly you've embraced zero-emission transportation in our community. Introducing the e-ride taxi, an electric taxi service, bringing you a cleaner, greener way to travel around our beautiful city. As part of the transformative Belize City e-ride program, this new service is another step toward modernizing our transportation system for a sustainable future. Looking to book your first e-ride taxi? It's super easy. First, download the Medriver app and register. Then, book your ride. Insert your pickup and drop-off location. Select e-ride, choose the number of occupants, and pick your preferred payment method. Confirm your ride and track your e-ride in real time as it makes its way to you. It's fast, eco-friendly, and designed for your comfort. So don't wait. Download Medriver today and let's drive Belize City towards a brighter, greener future, one e-ride at a time. Your Belize City Council, always about the people.
This newscast is brought to you through the courtesy of Builders Hardware.
In the headlines for tonight's newscast, PM says the sugar industry is facing an existential crisis after crop season came to an end with the lowest yield over the past 40 years. OSH bill introduced in the House, and UB terminates professor over gross misconduct. These stories and more coming up next on Plus News. Stay tuned.
Brought you through the courtesy of Builders Hardware, your home improvement warehouse.
Every project starts with the right tools. At Builders Hardware, we got everything to get the job moving. Tools, paint, plumbing, electrical, garden, it's all here from construction start to finish. We're also offering a different kind of power tool. Order anytime, anywhere. Pick up in store or get it delivered to your home. Go to shopbuildersbz.com today and save money with our exclusive online deals. Builders Hardware, making it easier.
Welcome to Plus News for Friday, June 27th. My name is LJ Wade. Belize's sugar industry is facing an existential crisis. That is the message that the Prime Minister of Belize delivered to the nation during this morning's House of Representatives meeting. This morning at 7:57, the mill ran out of cane, bringing this year's crop season to an end. This year's crop ended with around 880,000 tons of cane, falling woefully short of what the nation has come to expect. Numerous factors played a role in this year's drop in production, ranging from weather conditions to fusarium. According to the Prime Minister, this is a very difficult time for the sugar industry and the country at large.
I want to begin this morning by updating the nation on a major crisis facing our cane farmers and more so the people of the North. I just received a short WhatsApp message from Marcos Osorio, who is the chairman of the Sugar Industry Control Board. And he said, "Good morning, Prime Minister. At 7:57 this morning, the mill ran out of cane, bringing the 2024-2025 crop season to an end. Thank God the industry completes one more crop to be one of the most, if not the most challenging one. Cane production down due to weather, pest, and now the fusarium disease. Milling rate for the season was low due to challenging field conditions and limited workforce for cane harvest and delivery, low sugar output, and a low cane price estimate. The sugar industry is at a very difficult time and requires all hands on deck, GOB, farmers, and miller, to join forces to work on a plan of action to take the industry forward. For sure, the sugar industry is in probably its most serious crisis, actually an existential crisis, and we must do everything that we can within our power to address this issue. So last November, the Sugar Industry Research and Development Institute, SIRDI, the Belize Agricultural Health Authority, BAHA, and the Ministry of Agriculture conducted a field assessment and determined that more than 60,000 acres of sugarcane were infested with fusarium wilt disease. The assessment concluded that 8,060 acres that were severely infested, with most of the other 35,500 infested fields were mildly infected. The predictions were that overall, this would mean a 30% or 215,000 tons lost in cane production. The assessment also indicated that there will be a significant reduction in yield per acre, as well as a fall in the quality of cane harvested, affecting efficiencies both at the field level as well as at the factory at BSI. The effect of it all is that today the sugar crop has come to an end, and it will be one of the worst sugar crops we've had in a long time. By the end, by this morning, again, the estimate is around 880,000 tons of cane would have been delivered.
The drop in sugar production also leads to a drop in revenue. with the sugar industry only expected to generate $110 million, $53 million less when compared to last year. What makes matters worse is that according to the PM, next year's crop season may be even worse.
With a production of 880,000 tons of sugarcane producing 78,000 tons of sugar, the industry is projected to earn $110 million, mostly in foreign exchange, representing a significant reduction of $53 million from $163.5 million generated in 2024. Based on the current cane price estimate, farmers are expected to earn no more than $65 per ton of cane this year. This represents a $25 per ton, a reduction of $25 per ton when compared to the $90.23 per ton that was paid out last year. Our farmers will take home $31 million less than they took home last year. Looking ahead, it is clear that fusarium will continue to spread and even become more severe, so much so that this may be the last crop for some of our cane farmers. Next year's sugarcane crop is projected to see another fall in production, and technicians at SCPC and CIRDI are predicting that production could end up being below 700,000 tons. We must therefore urgently make concrete and targeted interventions if we are to avoid this kind of devastation in the sugar industry.
To get a head start on next year's crop and in an attempt to try and minimize damages, the Prime Minister announced that numerous safeguards are being put in place to combat fusarium, including financing to clean the sugarcane fields.
If we are to be successful at this interministerial collaboration that's taking place, it will be important to do some of the following interventions which we have to start implementations immediately. One, $500,000 have already been identified by the Ministry of Agriculture, which will be allocated immediately to a pilot initiative to start ridding these vines of the disease, these fields of the disease. Last November, researchers at CIRDI moved quickly to identify a possible treatment option, and earlier this year began testing this technology on 2 on-farm research plots. The results of this treatment, at least in the initial stages, looks also very promising. We've also met with BSI ASR, and they have brought in their soil scientists from Florida, where they have had a lot of success in dealing with this, and they too have also a treatment for this fungus. And so they will be working with us, with the Ministry of Agriculture, because this is a joint effort to see what would be the best way to be able to halt the spread of this disease and to be able to cure some of the fields that have been infected. So with this $500,000 that the Ministry of Agriculture has identified, the plan is to replicate this treatment on a larger scale by working jointly with farmers to treat the first 2,500 acres. Through AICA's Hemispheric Fund for Climate Change disasters like this fungus, $100,000 has been approved for the testing of the native fungus that is used to control the fusarium fungus currently affecting sugarcane. This will be done using the University of Belize's laboratory and their scientists. It is believed that this treatment may be far more effective and far more economic than importing it from other countries. 3, through the World Bank's project, Crepax, Cresap. Cresap, $2 million. Is this Belize or US? US dollars, yes. $2 million US dollars is being allocated to strengthen serious capacity to produce the trichoderma.
Following the Prime Minister's speech regarding the state that the sugar industry is in, ASR-BSI held a press conference to confirm what the Prime Minister stated. Sean Chavaria, the Director of Finance at BSI, says that this was the lowest yield of cane in the last 40 years.
The total cane received is just under 884,000 metric tons of cane. That's a low for us. The previous low was in the 20 when we had the impacts of the severe drought from 2019, where we had milled just slightly under 900,000 metric tons of cane. So for us, it's not a very good crop, and what has compounded it is the lower quality of cane that we received this year. Our TCTS, we're still going to be liquidating the factory in the coming days, but our TCTS will end up somewhere around 11.1, 11.2, which is one of the lowest we've seen since the 2010 crop. Total sugar production is estimated after liquidation to be somewhere around just under 79,000 metric tons of sugar cane. That's certainly one of the lowest we've had in the past 35 to 40 years. The previous low was in 2008 when we had produced just over 79,000 metric tons. So we'll be below that figure. And so it's not a very good crop from our standpoint. It's been very challenging.
While the damage that Fusarium causes has been well documented throughout the world, could the damage in Belize have been mitigated? Representatives from ASR-BSI seem to think so. According to Olivia Avilarez and Sean Chavaria, Belize's cane fields need to be renovated, as most of the sugar cane is old and more likely to catch disease. They believe that if newer, more healthier cane would be grown, the damage wouldn't have been so bad.
If there is one thing that as an industry we really need to tackle is the age of the cane. In other words, why the cane is susceptible to pests and disease is because it has not been replanted for many, many years. And so an unhealthy cane, just like a person, if you are unhealthy, if you catch a cold or a flu, you have higher chances of ending up in the hospital. And I think that is what we are seeing today, that the fields need to be renovated urgently in order for it to be a healthier cane with new varieties that are more resistant to some of these pests and diseases. And that way we can see the cane will be more in a better position to tackle some of these disease and pests, because that happens. We're talking about agriculture. We have these issues, but a healthy plant has more resistance and can take on the chin some of these issues that we're seeing.
Our sugar industry is in the ICU, Jules. It's the accumulation of the different symptoms of the injuries that we've been suffering over the years in the field. Sean explained the replanting issues. Our cane fields are old, but the one thing we know is that we are in a really, really critical state. And Fusarium fungus, it's a fungus, is just that one symptom that has landed us really in the ICU at this point. But all the symptoms with pests and diseases have been seen. Frog hopper, then leading to stem borer in 2019 to 2020 crop season. We're not addressing that issue. And stem borer is a pest that makes a hole in the sugar cane and starts to eat it from the inside out and allows the fusarium then to get in to the plant. And this is, again, symptoms of old crops or old plantations that really need to be replanted, and the transformation really needs to happen.
While Fusarium is currently running rampant throughout Belize's sugar industry, that may not be the only disease that is damaging the crop. According to the Minister of Agriculture, the Honorable Hosamai, they are sending samples to the lab to test for other possible pathogens.
If there is one thing that as an industry we really need to tackle is the age of the.
There is a drop in production in sugar, right? I think it's 78,000 tons from 100 and something, 110,000 tons. That's a 25,000 ton drop in sugar. But our local consumption is about 12,000 tons. So we have for local consumption. What I'm uncertain of is how is Mexico coping with their local demand? Because Mexico has three markets: the local, the world market, and the U.S. market. But their price locally is 3 times higher than Belize. So clearly, if the price of sugar is 3 times expensive there, and ours is at 75 cents, I mean, the contraband becomes rampant, becomes uncontrollable. That is why we're saying that we need to increase our price to maintain our sugar here. And damn, we will not import sugar from the U.S. this year. We're not looking at that. That is not something that we encourage. It's not something that's good for the country. We have our local consumption. We need to produce enough for our people, and then you export the excess. Okay, so
will we? So we will have sufficient sugar on the
always
local
had.
market.
We've always had enough sugar for the local market. We've always had.
Despite a lower sugar yield when compared to previous years, the Minister of Agriculture says that enough sugar was produced to supply local demand. Despite that fact, there still may be a sugar shortage due to smugglers selling sugar in Mexico, where sugar is priced higher.
Well, we have been discussing it for some time. We've begun some pushback. But I think that it is just fair that the farmers get a fair price for their sugar. Now, we are working on a paper right now. We had submitted one to cabinet. I didn't get approval for it, but we are revisiting it, seeing that it's necessary for the farmer to get an extra an increase in the sugar price. What's important here is that the benefits of an increased price be what you call it is justified one, and that is equitable. But the farmer does get a fair increase. It has to be structured. I'm just thinking aloud that the industrial people will have a special price because they use large quantities. The bread makers, for example, I think it has to be zoned where Orange Walk would be maybe the cheapest because of transportation, but you can't expect Toledo to be the same price as Orange Walk when you have transportation costs. So it's a structured price that we are looking at. We haven't finalized it. We both ministries are working at Ministry of Economic Transformation and my ministry are working on it because I have supplies control. But we are looking at it. It is necessary, absolutely necessary.
The minister says that he is currently pushing for the government to raise the local price of sugar to stave off smuggling opportunities.
Well, we have been discussing it for some time. We've begun some pushback. But I think that it is just fair that the farmers get a fair price for their sugar. Now, we are working on a paper right now. We had submitted one to cabinet. I didn't get approval for it. But we are revisiting it, seeing that it's necessary for the farmer to get an extra an increase in the sugar price. What's important here is that the benefits of an increased price be what you call it is justified one, and that is equitable. But the farmer does get a fair increase. It has to be structured. I'm just thinking aloud that the industrial people will have a special price because they use large quantities, the bread makers, for example. I think it has to be zoned where Orange Joak would be maybe the cheapest because of transportation, but you can't expect Toledo to be the same price as Orange Joak when you have transportation costs. So it's a structured price that we are looking at. We haven't finalized it. We both ministries are working at Ministry of Economic Transformation and my ministry are working because I have supplies control. But we are looking at it. It is necessary, absolutely necessary.
We'll take our first break, and when we return, we'll tell you about the OSH bill that was introduced today at the House of Representatives. Stay tuned.
From power tools to plumbing supplies, paints to light fixtures, at Benny's Kayo, we've got it all. Our extensive range of construction and household products ensures that you'll find exactly what you need, whether you're a seasoned contractor or a weekend do-it-yourselfer. Visit us at Mile 43 George Price Highway, Cotton Tree Village, just outside Belmopan, and discover the convenience, quality, and affordability that set us apart. Your next project starts here. Benny's, quality and savings.
Belize Electricity Limited is pleased to announce the holding of its 2024 annual general meeting at the BEL corporate headquarters on 2.5 miles Philip Golson Highway, Belize City, Belize, at 3 p.m. on Thursday, June 19, 2025. For registration purposes, shareholders are advised to bring along a valid identification, such as a social security card. Shareholders who are unable to attend may choose, and we encourage you to exercise this right, to appoint your proxy, or you can simply appoint the company's CEO or the corporate secretary as your proxy to represent you at the AGM. Proxy forms can be submitted at the BEL corporate headquarters on 2.5 miles Philip Wilson Highway or via email at shares@bel.com.bz no later than 5 p.m. on June 17, 2025. For more information or assistance, contact BEL's Securities Officer at 227-0954 extension 1512.
Every project starts with the right tools. At Builders Hardware, we got everything to get the job moving. Tools, paint, plumbing, electrical, garden, it's all here from construction start to finish. We're also offering a different kind of power tool. Order anytime, anywhere. Pick up in store or get it delivered to your home. Go to shopbuildersbz.com today and save money with our exclusive online deals. Builders Hardware, making it easier.
Catch all the action of the BPBL anytime, anywhere with the BPBL League Pass. Stream exclusive coverage on the national channel. Available on Next Gen TV. Choose the plan that fits you best. The Weekend Pass, 3 days, just $10. Weekly Pass, 7 days, only $15. The Monthly Pass, 30 days, for just $20. Don't miss a moment of Belize's premier basketball league. Get your league pass today. To sign up, contact us on WhatsApp at 660-7873 or visit nextgen.bz.
Belize City, get ready for a safe and reliable e-taxi experience like never before. Building on the success of our e-ride bus service, we've heard your feedback, Belize City. We've seen your enthusiasm and how eagerly you've embraced zero-emission transportation in our community. Introducing the e-ride taxi, an electric taxi service, bringing you a cleaner, greener way to travel around our beautiful city. As part of the transformative Belize City e-ride program, this new service is another step toward modernizing our transportation system for a sustainable future. Looking to book your first e-ride taxi? It's super easy. First, download the Medriva app and register. Then, book your ride. Insert your pickup and drop-off location. Select e-ride, choose the number of occupants, and pick your preferred payment method. Confirm your ride and track your e-ride in real time as it makes its way to you. It's fast, eco-friendly, and designed for your comfort. So don't wait. Download Midriver today and let's drive Belize City towards a brighter, greener future, one e-ride at a time. Your Belize City Council, always about the people.
A landmark piece of legislation was introduced at the House of Representatives today. After years of deliberation, the Occupational Safety and Health Bill, better known as the OSH Bill, was officially introduced today. The bill was tabled by the Minister of Labor, the Honorable Florencio Marin, who heralded the piece of legislation as a modern and comprehensive legal framework to protect workers across the country. The bill, according to Marin, also seeks to establish a National Occupation and Safety Health Advisory Committee and Inspectorate under the Ministry of Labor.
I rise to introduce a bill for an act to establish the National Occupational Safety and Health Advisory Committee and the Occupational Safety and Health Inspectorate to provide for improved standards for occupational safety and health workers and other persons at work, to provide for duties and obligations of employers, workers, self-employed persons, manufacturers, suppliers, installers, inspectors, and other persons at work, which is a landmark piece of legislation aimed at strengthening the protection of workers across Belize by establishing a modern, comprehensive, and enforceable legal framework for occupational safety and health. By strengthening and enforcing OSH policies, we are not only protecting workers, we are building a safer, healthier, and more productive society. Mr. Speaker, the current Factories Act, which this bill seeks to repeal, is outdated and limited in scope. Our workplaces have evolved significantly, and so too must our laws. This new OSH bill expands protections beyond factories to cover all workplaces and sectors, ensuring that every worker in Belize has the right to a safe and healthy working environment. This bill, Mr. Speaker, aligns with Belize's international commitments under ILO Conventions number 155 and 187 and supports the implementation of our Decent Work Country Program 2024-2029. One of the most significant features of this final draft of the OSH bill is the restructuring of the institutional framework for OSH governance. Initial proposals had recommended establishing a standalone occupational safety and health authority alongside a dedicated OSH inspectorate. However, based on guidance from the International Labour Organization and a careful review of Belize's national context, this model was reconsidered. The ILO advised that rather than creating a new statutory body, Belize should establish a National OSH Advisory Committee and a dedicated OSH Inspectorate under the Ministry of Labor.
The bill also has a framework that seeks to protect whistleblowers who make reports on unsafe working situations. Marin called the bill a game changer for the country.
This bill includes strong and enforceable provisions that clearly define the duties of employers, workers, designers, suppliers, and property owners. It incorporates protections for whistleblowers and prohibits retaliation against those who report unsafe conditions. It mandates the notification and investigation of workplace accidents, incidents, and occupational diseases. It also requires the establishment of workplace safety committees and the appointment of worker representatives, while addressing both physical and psychosocial hazards, including mental health risks, particularly relevant today. The bill empowers the authorities to issue improvement and prohibition notices, impose administrative penalties, and provide for legal appeals. Initial implementation of the bill will be supported through the ministry's budget with technical support from the ILO. Mr. Speaker, this bill is not just a legal reform. It is a human rights issue, a labor issue, and a development issue. It reflects this government's commitment to decent work, public health, and sustainable economic growth. This submission, Mr. Speaker, is a nation taking a bold and necessary step on behalf of every hardworking Belizean, Mr. Speaker. This bill will be a game changer.
Another bill that was introduced today was the School Teachers Pension Bill that seeks to amend the School Teachers Pension Act. The bill seeks to make way for the new CBA that will be discussed in the coming weeks with the teachers and fixes pensions. The government has been paying 70% of the salary grant for some schools, but with this new bill, the government would be footing the entire 100%. The Minister of Education, the Honorable Oscar Rekenya, explained.
In response to the mandate received from their respective memberships, which was to engage in negotiations with the government of Belize for a cost of living adjustment and improved benefits package aimed at enhancing efficiency, productivity, and working conditions, the Public Service Union, the BNTU, and the Association of Public Service Senior Managers submitted a collective bargaining agreement to the government of Belize on December 1st, 2008. This CBA, communally drafted by the union's joint negotiating team, encompassed 24 proposals designed for implementation over 2009 to 2012. These proposals covered a range of matters, including amendments to legislation, enhanced compensation, implementation of service benefits frameworks, incentives for improved work ethics and performance, system upgrades, modernization of services, and the improvement of working conditions. Subsection 1 of Proposal 22 proposed that the Ministry of Education and the government pays the full 100% salaries and service benefits of all grant-aided secondary and tertiary level educational institutions in Belize. This full salary payment would offer all qualifying approved teaching staff, teachers and administrators, full 100 pensions and service benefits for all staff, whether teaching or non-teaching, would be honored. The Ministry of Education and the government currently pays a salary grant of 70%, and that is what moving it now to 100% as proposed in Proposal 22.
Yesterday, the joint unions negotiating team met with government representatives to discuss the union's push for an 8.5 salary adjustment. The government's latest offer stands at a 4.5% increase starting October of this year, with the other 4% coming into effect October of next year. The Prime Minister stated that he is hopeful that the unions will accept the government's latest offer.
They had a good meeting, cordial, tense at times because both sides, are fighting to make, or they're working hard. Want to rephrase the word fighting, but working hard to make their points. And I believe that at the end, they have come with something that can be supported by both the government and the unions. Our government, as we've been saying, Mr. Speaker, has once again offered a counter-proposal to the unions that is affordable, one that would get for our teachers and public officers the 8.5% increase in salaries and the increments over a reasonable time period. Mr. Speaker, we have never doubted that we will reach an amicable solution with the unions because we have and will always continue to act in good faith. Just as we have no doubt that together we will manage the external and internal shocks that we face. This People's United Party government has not and will never throw up our hands in the air when it comes to facing the difficult task that comes with governance.
Today, the Minister of Home Affairs, Karim Musa, clarified the purpose and the role of Aaron Guzman as the special advisor to the CEO within the Ministry of Home Affairs. According to the minister, Guzman doesn't just advise the CEO, but rather the entire ministry, given his wealth of knowledge and experience. Minister Musa pushed back on the narrative that Guzman was given a crony contract and stated that this is his second year holding the position.
And I know that the media has run with this as some sort of new scandal, but anyone can tell you, Paul and Courtney, that Mr. Guzman is not a crony of mine. This is not a crony contract. You're talking about somebody with institutional experience and knowledge as a Deputy Commissioner of Police. And as the Deputy Prime Minister mentioned yesterday, the act of governance, no doubt today, requires all hands on deck. None of you are asking, how is it that you get the results each year that you do? That right now we stand 14 murders less than last year even. That was a record year. Nobody's looking at that. And I'm not saying that all of that is attributed to Mr. Guzman. I'm saying that there are several pieces to this puzzle, starting first and foremost with the officers of our police department who have been doing a phenomenal job in terms of the training that they've been getting, in terms of the LIU interventions that we have, in terms of all of these programs that have been implemented, and the way that crime has evolved so much. We're not talking now just about gang violence or domestic violence. We're talking about cyber security. We're talking about right now our ministry is being asked and tasked to look at animal welfare, as you recall the incident that happened with the horse. And so there's a lot of policies and strategies that somebody like Mr. Guzman can offer his advice to the ministry, not to the CEO, because you ran with that as though it's some special advisor to the CEO. I think it was you that said that, Courtney. It's not just the CEO, it is to the entire ministry that he assists in terms of the policies, programs, and strategies. And so I just wanted to make that clarification that there are many pieces to a puzzle. And this is not your traditional UDP crony contract that we're looking at, which I'm sure if you wanted to look, you can find a lot of those. But Mr. Guzman is no crony of anybody in our party.
Why not rely on the expertise of the commissioner who is as senior and is already on salary and is already hired?
Mr. Guzman has been at the ministry while the commissioner was there. Actually, it was that commissioner that recommended it, Commissioner Williams, that recommended it. So Mr. Guzman has been on for 2 years during the tenure of the former Commissioner of Police.
Musa stated that Guzman's contract will expire at the beginning of next year, when it is not expected to be renewed. Nearly £1 million of red potatoes are at risk of rotting in cold storage containers in San Antonio Village as Mennonite farmers struggle to find a market for their crop. The farmers say they are unable to sell their produce due to an oversupply of contraband potatoes flooding the market. But why is that? Well, according to the Minister of Agriculture, The farmers stored their potatoes and only brought them out at the end of the season when they could sell at any price that they'd like. The minister says that consumers don't have to purchase from them and that the farmers may have miscalculated the market.
At this moment, they are the only people that have potatoes, but they have cold storage. And I don't agree with sometimes what they do, but I understand why they do it. These farmers store their potatoes and kept it. Of course, you store it longer, and then you sell at the end of the crop when nobody has at a high price. I think they did manage to balance it well, because you cannot force people to pay a high price. They met and they said we have a contraband problem. Contraband has always been there, right? The question is, you have to manage it. Is it that much that will allow you to lose or not? Baha, supplies control, or extension officers, customs have been out there, and we haven't seen much white potatoes on the market. You see them, you see them now and again, okay? So we are telling them that we are controlling it, but storing the potatoes, holding it, and releasing it until the end of the crop at $2 a pound is not cutting it for the consumer, right? And the producer deserves the best, but the consumer also deserves the best in quality and in price. And so I think that they miscalculated the time, right? And of course, we control the importation of this. We control how much is imported. And so they were saying, well, you hold on the importation until I could sell my potato at $2 a pound. Potatoes in Orange was selling at $1.80. So when they met in my team told them, you are selling at $2 a pound. Orange is $1.80. So the wholesalers would go to Orange to buy at $1.80. They were selling at wholesale price at $2 a pound. So a 100-pound sack is $200. And so I got a call this morning from one of them. I said, but at $2 a pound, man. And some of these people bought in Orange at $1.35, put it in a container to store, and now selling at $2. That's what they did. So, the farmers in Orange, they were selling at $1.35 a pound. So they said, I'm going to make money off this. So, like I said,
They can't be helped. That is what you're saying. They won't be helped.
Because you consume 100,000 pounds a week. We have no importation. Orange is out. So I think from now on, they will start to put it out. I wish they don't take the price up higher, right? That's not the idea. But since the production of drug is done, they are the last ones. We have 100,000 pounds. In stock, we have 800,000 pounds. Right? That's 8 weeks. That's 8 weeks.
We'll take our final break and be right back. Stay tuned.
Looking to build or renovate? Find the inspiration you need in our showroom. First stop, the kitchen. Explore big name appliances, all built to make life easier. From there, let the lights guide you. But what about the finer details? We've got you covered. And to bring it all together, we've got tiles for every surface.
All available online.
Builders Hardware, your home improvement warehouse.
I am very pleased to share with you, Mr. Speaker, and with my colleagues that yesterday, Minister Mai, the Honourable Member from Orange Walk North and the Honourable Member from Toledo East and myself met with the entire team. And it was a good working meeting. We met at the offices of the Progressive Cane Farmers Association. And we discussed the plan that they produced based on the Commission of Inquiry's findings. And so on Tuesday, I'll be meeting with the Cabinet and asking them for their support for us to be able to start to work immediately for the rescue of the sugar industry. And pretty soon, we will be doing the same for the citrus industry. This People's United Party government has not and will not and will never throw up our hands in the air when it comes to facing the difficult task that comes with governance. We will neither grieve nor weep. We will work because that is what the Belizean people expect of us. And that is why they, the Belizean people, are standing with us. We promise to improve the lives of our people, all our people. We promise to work hard every day to deliver more jobs, better health care, to give our children a good education, and keep us safe from threats at home and abroad, and we're doing just that.
In our world that's always changing, one thing stays the same.
Our promise as Smart Belize to keep you connected.
Connected to the moments, the people, and the future that matter most.
With every new tower, our service upgrades, and every new smile, we're keeping our promise in building more than a network.
We're building a future, a family as Smart Belize. From Punta Gorda to Corozal, we are here not just as a network, but as your partner in progress.
We have grown significantly over the past 20 years, and we just keep growing. Thank you for placing your trust in us. We remain dedicated to providing meaningful connections that bring value in every way that matters to you. We continue to bring people together.
Electricity is evolving, and BEL is leading the way with smarter connections across Belize. Meet AMI, Advanced Metering Infrastructure. It's not just a meter, it's a smarter way to manage power. Smart meters record your energy use in real time and securely send the data to BEL. Key customer benefits include real-time insights into energy usage, improved home energy planning, integration of solar, battery, and EV technologies, and innovative customer service solutions. Get ready! AMI is coming soon to municipalities across Belize, including the Keys, to give you more control and reliability. BEL, bringing you a brighter tomorrow.
Here's how to be a part of Benny's Homecation in 3 easy steps. First, download the B-Bucks app and sign up to be eligible. It's fast and easy. Then, shop at any Benny's location or Benny's entity. Remember to choose products from our monthly Homecation jackpot categories to earn entries. Now you can earn B-Bucks with purchases made and be a part of the Benny's Homecation jackpot for a chance to win the $10,000 grand prize in December. Win the ultimate Homecation with Benny's, quality and savings.
The University of Belize has announced the termination of Dr. Pio Saki, a former lecturer and president of the University of Belize's Faculty and Staff Union. Earlier this year, Dr. Saki's name entered public discussion when the lecturer was placed on administrative leave due to numerous sexual offense allegations being investigated by the university. Since then, the university has released a statement announcing that, after careful consideration of both the committee's report of the investigation findings and the opinion of an independent legal counsel, the university came to the conclusion that the conduct of the lecturer constituted gross misconduct as defined in its Faculty and Staff Handbook and under the Belize Labor Act. Following this conclusion, the university has decided to act accordingly and immediately terminate Dr. Saki, removing him as a member of the staff and faculty. The president of the University of Belize, Dr. Vincent Palacio, said, and we quote, "We will not tolerate conduct that undermines the safety, dignity, or trust of our academic community. This action reaffirms our commitment to upholding a culture of accountability, integrity, and student-centered learning." End quote. In recognition of Public Service Day, 188 public officers were awarded for their 25 years of service. These officers were honored for their enduring excellence, commitment, and personal sacrifices in delivering high-quality services to the people of Belize. This year's theme, 5 years to 2030, Accelerating Public Service Delivery for a Sustainable Future, highlights the need for innovative and modernization across the public sector. At the ceremony was the Minister of Public Service, Government and Disaster Risk Management, the Honorable Henry Usher, who spoke about the importance of public service officers and the role they play in moving the country of Belize forward.
My wife Jamie and I are always very honored to be able to celebrate this milestone with public officers, 25 years of service to the people and nation of Belize. And it's something that it always puts me in a reflective mind because, number one, I always say, wow, 25 years is a long time to be in a job. But two, I am so appreciative of the work that each and every one of you have done for Belize over all of these years. Public officers are true nation builders. We would not be as a country where we are in terms of the development, in terms of the productivity, in terms of the services being provided if it wasn't for you, public officers. And so this Public Service Week and every Public Service Week and every time I have an opportunity to do so, I want to say thank you, and really we appreciate all the work that you have done. We had our meeting this morning with the joint unions. And since I was appointed as Minister of the Public Service, and since the Prime Minister asked myself and the Deputy Prime Minister, Minister Fonseca, Minister Koye, and now Minister Kenya, to be a part of the team that has regular discussions with the joint unions, I've learned quite a bit. I've been able to understand a lot of what the issues really mean and how we can reach solutions. And really that's what it's all about. We need to be able to work together to find solutions. And yes, at times it gets passionate. Yes, at times we tend to get a little aggravated and maybe we respond quick, but we're always able to come back to that foundation, which is solving problems, moving the country forward. For being part of this process for us to solve problems. And we're hoping that this latest issue that we have can be resolved and we can move on to resolving even more. Because when we work together, we are able to achieve so much. When we work together, we're able to solve problems that seem unsolvable. When we work together, we're able to sign a collective bargaining agreement that for 16 years was unable to be signed. When we work together, we're able to come to a solution on Proposal 22 for the teachers that led to the signing of the collective bargaining agreement. When we work together, we can look at increasing the transfer grants. We can look at increasing the allowances. We can look at all of these issues if we work together. And that's why I've always been a proponent of that process, to work together for the betterment of the public officers, for the betterment of Belize.
And that's the news. Thank you for joining us from all of us here at Plustv. Have a good night and God bless.